You ever tell yourself, this is the week I'm getting back on track with my health? And you meant it, right? You buy the groceries, you set the intentions, you make the plan, you even start off strong for a few days. And then life happens. You get tired. Something throws you off your routine. Life starts lifing. And you slowly find yourself right back where you actually started from, right? Not because your intentions weren't there, but because something just didn't hold. If that's ever been you, then this message is definitely for you. Because most people think their health struggle comes down to discipline. But what if that's not actually the issue? What if the real reason your health goals don't stick is because your identity hasn't caught up yet? Let me break it down to you. What's up, my peeps? If you're new here, welcome. I'm DJ, Master Manifester, and Identity Shift Coach. I am here to help you step into the identity of the person you're meant to be so you can create the life you truly deserve. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's get back into it. We've all heard the advice, right? Be more consistent. Stay disciplined. Just push through. And for a little while, that works for you, right? You can push yourself into any new habits, right? But if those habits don't match how you see yourself, they won't last. There's a quote by Brené Brown that says, true belonging doesn't require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are. And I totally relate to that when it comes to growth. Because lasting change doesn't come from forcing new behaviors, right? It comes from becoming someone those behaviors feel natural to be. Think about that for a second. It comes from becoming someone those behaviors feel natural to be. Let me give you a simple example, okay? Two people can follow the exact same plan, right? Same workout, same meal plans, same schedule, right? But one person is thinking, I'm trying to get healthy. And the other is thinking, I am someone who takes care of my body. See the difference? That small difference, that small shift, that's identity. And identity will always outlast effort. There's actual research in behavior psychology that supports this. People who focus on identity-based habits, meaning they shift how they see themselves, they are far more likely to maintain change than those who just focus on outcomes. Because when something becomes part of who you are, you don't have to keep negotiating with yourself every day, right? And this is where things start to connect across all three pillars: your health, your wealth, and relationships. Because instability is one area usually reflect instability and identity overall. If you don't see yourself as consistent, you'll struggle to be consistent anywhere, right? If you don't see yourself as someone who follows through, you'll break trust with yourself in multiple areas. So even though today we're talking about health, this applies to everything in your life. If this is resonating with you, go ahead and hit that like button so that YouTube would tell people that need to hear this. Then hit that subscribe button, because I post new content every Tuesday and you don't want to miss out. And share it with someone that you feel may need to hear this. Now let's bring this down into real life, okay? Because identity shifting isn't about waking up one day and becoming a completely different person. It's built through small, repeated decisions that reinforce a new standard. So instead of saying, I need to work out every day, You might start with, I'm someone who moves my body regularly. And then you prove that to yourself in small ways. A walk 2 to 3 times a week, daily stretching, or 10 minutes of movement a day. Instead of saying, I need to eat perfectly, right? You shift into, I'm someone who fuels my body with care. You add a little more veggies or a salad a couple times a week, okay? So now your choices come from identity. They come from within, not pressure. And let's be honest, you're going to have days when you don't feel like it, right? Give me that cheeseburger any day. That doesn't mean it's not working. That's actually where the shift is happening. There's a quote by James Clear that I actually love. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Not through perfection, right? Not in a heavy way, but as a reminder that your body isn't something to fight against. It's something to care for, to respect, to work with. So if your health goals haven't been sticking, I don't want your takeaway to be, I need to try harder, right? That's not what I'm saying. I want it to be this. You don't need a whole new plan. You need a stable starting point. Here's something simple you can begin with, okay? Pick one identity statement for this week. It could be something like, I take care of my body, or I'm someone who follows through for myself. And then pair it with one small repeatable action, okay? Not 10 things, not a full routine, just one that is doable. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's drinking more water first thing in the morning. Maybe it's choosing one better meal a day. That's it. Because what you're doing here isn't trying to fix everything all at once. You're teaching your system what consistency feels like, right? And once that starts to feel normal, everything else becomes easier to build on, right? Now, there's a deeper way to do this, okay? Where you're not just picking up new habits here and there, but actually building an identity that holds across your health, your mindset, and your life. That's the part most people are missing. And that's the work we go deeper into inside my community, Elevate Your Path Academy. We don't just talk about change. We help you build the kind of identity that makes change stick. So your health isn't something you keep restarting, right? It becomes something you actually live. If you're ready for that kind of shift, I'd love to support you inside the community. The link is below in the descriptions. Now, if that resonated with you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming up next. Like this video so more women can find it, right? And share it with someone who's tired of starting over. All right, that's it for today. Take what landed, leave what didn't, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love, my peeps.